The Late Show, Bills at Chiefs. Chiefs 1.5-point favorites at home. 47.5 points is the over-under, exact same as that Eagles game. What's the matchup you're looking for in this one?
Man, there's a lot of matchups I'm really looking at, but if I was to try to hone in on one outside of, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, it's going to be the Chiefs linebackers and their big time test in figuring out what the hell Josh Allen's doing with the football. Because we know that there are 7-step drops that turn into quarterback runs. We know that there's quarterback runs that turn into pitches. We know that there's anything under the sun that can happen with Joe Brady and Josh Allen at the quarterback position. So for guys like Leo Chenal, Drew Tranquill, Nick Bolton, you have your work cut out for you. And I think the one phenotype, the one body that I think is cut out for this gig of being the eyes on Josh Allen all the time is Leo Chenal. And you and I were texting about this. He's Hercules for that defense. And you hear the way that their team talks about him. There's nothing that Leo can't do physically. And if you're going to put to the test somebody's physical capabilities, go ahead and say, all right, well, you get Josh. So I'm going to be looking at that second level of the defense, and I'm going to be looking at Chris Jones taking on double teams because I know Aaron Cromer. I know what he's about. And he says, you cut the head off and the snake will fall. That's essentially what they're going to try to get done against Chris Jones. I think they want 4 hands on him, and they want to force him to play the run all game so that when the opportunity does present itself to rush the passer, he's going to have less than optimal gas in the tank.
Yeah, this is the matchup I'm looking forward to too, because I don't think any team utilizes their running threat at the quarterback position as well as Josh Allen in terms of just like not overusing it, not spamming it, but using it when it's necessary. And we talked about, short yardage efficacy earlier. And that's when they break it out, right? It's like 3rd and 4, they go empty and they'll run power with Josh
They run
Allen.
quarterback crack to the left with, 2 guys coming down, Deion Dawkins pulling around, and then you get the backside guard coming, the center blocks back, and then you got a convoy. And what's behind a convoy? A tank. There's, humans protecting a tank. It doesn't even make sense.
And they do a lot of, we discussed last week, a lot of 6 offensive lineman stuff, Alec Anderson, getting him on the football field. That means, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to combat that with base defense. That means Leo Chenal's out there a lot of snaps, 31 snaps the first time these two teams played. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs win this game without a big play from Leo Chenal. Now, that doesn't say it's not going to happen, right? Because seemingly every single week he makes one. Every single playoff run, he has been right at the heart of it, even if he doesn't play a full complement of snaps. You saw it last week with the blocked field goal. The guy is a machine, and he's uniquely the one guy that if you're going to spy Josh Allen, and I assume they will, I assume that's going to be part of the plan. He runs a 4.53, man. He's 250 pounds running a 4.53. He can track him down in space the way I don't trust Nick Bolton to. If Nick Bolton gets there, I don't trust him to bring him down in space. And I don't trust Drew Tranquill either. So I think Leo Chenal, you're going to see a lot of him in this game. He's going to be their spy on 3rd downs, or he's going to be rushing on 3rd downs, mush rushing, that he's going to need to have himself a heck of a game to keep this Kansas City Chiefs team in the game.
One way we can determine the machismo of some of these linebackers is their willingness to take on / attack pullers. And more often than not, these pullers are in a different weight class, maybe 2 weight classes above them. When I think about Nick Bolton, I think about a guy who's undersized but squatty, who's willing to take on these blocks. Is he going to win that fight? More often than not, no. But just the threat of knowing that there's a linebacker coming to hit you, that's something. Drew Tranquill is a guy that can get under some of the arms. He's a very athletic guy, and that's a tough ask for pullers, particularly when you're pulling around outside. Guys can duck underneath of you. This guy, Leo Chenal, he's looking for a fight. He can go under you. He can go around you. So, as much as a challenge as this is for the linebackers, for the Chiefs, you got to understand as a puller who your assignment is. And there's 3 different types of guys out there. What are you expecting and how are you going to combat it? That's what I'm looking for.
The obvious matchup, though, in this one, and we'll touch on it a little bit because everyone and their mother is talking about it. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, right? It's version 4 of this in the playoffs. The last 3 games we saw in 2020, they lost 38-24, the Bills did. In 2021, they lost 42-36. And then in 2023, they lost last year 27-24. I think every time they match up, you see their best, right? I think you'll see. That's why this is one of my favorites. The over in this one is both quarterbacks come to play. They're not, the
Without a
defenses
doubt.
don't win. The defenses don't decide these matchups. This is Allen versus Mahomes, and they are going to be at their best. It's just who's best. It more comes down to me who has the supporting cast that can really elevate at this point. And to me, it's the Bills. I think it's the Bills and that offensive line that can really elevate as opposed to the Chiefs, just because I don't trust the Chiefs tackles, unfortunately, at this point. Even if Joe Tooney, sure, I think he can hold his own, but like, do we trust Jawan Taylor against Von Miller when Von's like playoff Von now? I don't know. I think I expect more the Chiefs supporting cast to let down Mahomes than I expect the Bills supporting cast to let down Allen.
That's hey, whoever has the ball last, right? And they changed the damn rules so Josh Allen can have an opportunity to have the ball last. So I'm looking forward to this.